Yo, welcome back, episode 6, here we are. As you can see behind me, we've ripped the bumper off the Lincoln because the crash support panel was absolutely fiddled. As you can see, rusty as hell. I think there's rats been pissing and shit up in there. Heating up those nuts with this just even a little bit will always help you. These things are rusted up and impossible to break free without a little bit of heat, and I probably should have been putting this on a little bit earlier, give it time to penetrate. Earlier as in like for the last 2 weeks I could have been putting this on and it would have helped a lot. Lucky I had some muscle on the job. What's more important than heat is muscle. Breaking those bolts free for me, what a G.
And we're working on your time.
That's right, we are.
And we got 2 Lincolns.
2 Lincolns, yeah. You like working on them? It's good. Now this video is a little bit on the longer side, but stick around. You might learn something, or you might want to teach me something. Check out how handy it is having kids. Reg, get up here, get that spanner, not that one. The one up there, over there. That one, yep. Climb up, put it on this bolt here. Hang on. You undo it. That's it. Once we got that bumper unbolted and on the ground, same technique, getting the bolts off the bumper and crash support, separating them. As you can see, proper rusty. So chuck her in the ute, go give her a sandblast, clean it up, and see what we're really dealing with here. Orange because it started raining as I finished sandblasting. Once I had it on the bench, I decided that return fold on each end was way too far gone and would have been too fiddly to repair for this circumstance. So I just nipped it off and repeated the pattern on the other side. Once I had that cut off and out the way, I made a pattern of what I wanted to repair, so just getting rid of most of that major rust in a shape that we could easily achieve with a single fold. So we got that marked out, cut that out of both sides, even Stevens, took that pattern, made sure we marked out where that fold needs to go, each end of the radius sort of thing, so it gives me an idea of how sharp the fold is, 95 degrees. Mark that out on some fresh sheet metal. We were just using 2mm in this. Guillotine the rough shape out, clean it up with the grinder, and took her over to the press. Press that shape into it. Make sure to do a left and a right. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Once we got those new bits pressed up, just make sure they fit alright. Make sure they suit the line well, and then cut it out. Bang it in there, a few modifications to make it fit just right, a couple tacks here and there. Now this end has a bit of a curve in it there, so I just did a little pie cut in the material and just bent it down. Typically you wouldn't do this with sheet metal because obviously that pie cut needs to be re-welded and that will create a little bit of tension where you don't need it and more for the sheet metal, but we're using 2mm here so it's not too bad, and it's only a bumper support, so who really gives a fuck. Once we got that in there, quick sand up, you know, nothing too flash. Perfect. Now onto the other side. Get the other side buttoned up. Same thing, cut that rust out, weld that new piece in. Once we got the metal work done, no restorations complete without a bit of a rattle can rebuild, so we gave it a spritz here and there, make it look fresh as a daisy. I did give it another sandblast too. So after removing the crash bar, we noticed how bad the rust was in the bumper itself. Unfortunately, this thing's almost beyond repair. Since filming this episode, I've actually sourced 2 more bumpers, front and rear. We can get them chromed over in LA. Chrome work over there is a lot better because they're allowed to use chemicals we're not allowed to in Australia. And my homeboy Phil, shout out Cadillac Location, picked them up for me off Matthew. Thanks to Matthew as well for setting me up with some bumpers to replace these. Got them all pulled apart and they're off at the chrome shop now, so hopefully we'll see them soon. But I don't want to fit them before the car gets painted, and before we do anything I want to get the car registered. So in Australia the laws are that we've got to get this thing up to scratch to be on the road and get what is called a roadworthy certificate. So the rust in that rear crash support wouldn't allow that, so we've got to fixing that, and now that's repaired as you've seen. We're going to chuck her on the car. The structure that holds this L-shaped plate in that these bolts go into was rusted to absolute fucking smithereens, so cut the head off the bolt here. I'm going to remove these ones. That's going to be my guide for lining up the brackets and also stop that from fucking off on me. Had the hoist down low enough so I could slot this on, and then my boy Reg lifted it up so we could get under there and get some bolts nipped up. A little bit of fiddling around, getting this bumper to line up each end. Now, as you can see, I spotted the rust actually coming through from the inside on the outside of the bumper as well. So she is at the end of her life. But look at that. Looks nice and neat in there. Won't have any trouble passing a roadworthy with that. Next, we're going to address the other issues it's got.
Thanks for joining us for another Lincoln Lowrider build episode. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.